What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Volts Comics and More. I'm Alex, and today I'm going to be going over the first appearance of Thanos, brought to you by Iron Man number 55, which I showed you a little bit of yesterday. But today I'm going to kind of go over the book, just kind of jumping ahead here and there. Basically, just to kind of give you a summary of what the whole story is all about. For one, definitely good read. I definitely suggest picking it up. Like I said, these True Believers are only $1. So it's definitely worth picking up. And in all honesty, it would be very, very awesome to have like a actual copy of the Iron Man number 55. Just to, like, as a collector's, but this is definitely be one that would be, like, you know, if you can get it, like, a really high grade, be a really expensive one, to say the least. Anyway, let's go on with the story. So basically, the gist of it is that, Drax the Destroyer, it tells about how he was born. It tells about what his purpose is and everything like that. And I'm also going to kind of, like, you'll see a bunch of differences that they did with the movie compared to what actually happened first in the comics. And they've already said that they're going to do Thanos' backstory a little bit different. And in here, it kind of explains a little bit of his backstory, but in newer comics, it's actually explained even more in depth of his actual backstory. But in here, just kind of, I mean, this is his first appearance. So Drax is telling of Thanos' backstory and why Drax was created, which was obviously to destroy Thanos. But basically, as you'll see in a minute, that Thanos was trying to take over Titan, and Drax was created to hunt down Thanos because Thanos was banished, but then he had grown an army, and Drax was created to track Thanos down, to destroy this army, and all that good stuff. You also have, as you see on the cover here, the Blood Brothers, who their appearance is also, everybody's appearance, as far as that goes, has actually changed over the years, of course, depending on, like, different artists and different creators and everything, their own depictions of the characters. But then again, you also have the fact that the whole universe has restarted, not just with the new Secret Wars, but I mean, you know, every time a new artist comes on and stuff like that, everybody gets new upgrades and stuff and everything, and it's just you're gonna see a whole world of different, like, you're in a different universe when you're reading, like, the original comics that tell the original stories and everything that has, again, originally happened. So, but yeah, the Blood Brothers are sent to Earth by Thanos to get Iron Man, because Drax is telepathically talking to Iron Man, saying, hey, I need your help. You don't know me, but I need you. And Iron Man is, you know, being the armored Avenger that he is definitely willing to go. And I'll also show you something really cool. They kind of take you step by step on how he's putting on his original armor, which I thought was really, really awesome. But there's also some little Easter eggs in here and everything that I think would be, well, not Easter eggs, yeah, I mean, can you have an Easter egg in an origin? I don't think so. But anyway, I hope in the movie they have an Easter egg that references the origin for Iron Man number 55, because there's a couple of funny things that I can see them doing, like taking from here and just kind of throwing it into, I mean, totally doing a whole James Gunn thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, where nobody has actually discovered that Easter egg yet. They've discovered like bits and pieces of it, but nobody's actually there's still one more Easter egg that needs to be discovered. Like somebody just discovered that when Rocket Raccoon, and during that scene where Rocket Raccoon, Stan Lee makes his cameo in the first Guardians movie, and Rocket is singing him, and you see all these writings around because he's analyzing him for, it's for balloting. Well, in the half circle that's around Stan's face, you see an inscription in there, and in scroll writing that spells out Excelsior. So that was just one of the things, but there's still one more major Easter egg that has not been discovered yet. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I would love to see them do something like that for Infinity War, especially since James Gunn had quite a bit to say as far as like the Guardians go, and since this involves Drax, I'm kind of hoping that maybe there's some Easter eggs in the movie that kind of references this, because I'll explain it in a second in more detail when I actually get to that page, but there's just things that happen in there that I could see easily becoming true, especially since as depicted in the trailers, Iron Man is with the Guardians of the Galaxy, so it would be very simple for them to kind of pull something like this off. But anyway, so it's going on about 6 minutes now, 6.5 minutes, over 6.5 minutes, so I'm sorry about that. But anyway, let's get started on this book right now. So as I mentioned before, if you guys have not picked this up yet, I definitely suggest doing it. True Believers #1, Thanos the First. And if you guys want to find like the original comic, this is what the original cover would have looked like. And it's the Invincible Iron Man #55, and that is the actual first appearance for Thanos. But anyway, let's dive in. So this comic opens up with Stan Lee presents the Invincible Iron Man. And as I mentioned before, Drax the Destroyer is telepathically trying to communicate with Iron Man, and it ends up being too late, and Iron Man's face to face with the Blood Brothers, who end up capturing him and end up bringing him to Titan, where Thanos is holding Drax the Destroyer. So basically what happened was Drax went out on his first mission after pretty much just being born, because Thanos had been banished and created an army to bring back to Titan, and being an entity known as Kronos had said that he will only save Titan once. Like, he can only be there once, but he will aid him. And here you have Drax the Destroyer being born for destruction. And this was all requested by Mentor, who right here, Drax is this is all part of Drax's explanation to Iron Man as to what is going on, and explaining that the Mentor had his sons, Eros and Thanos, who, as you can see, Eros even looks a little bit different here. He's obviously blue with blonde hair, as different as you see him here with white skin and red hair. This is the Eros that is in the comics now. That picture was taken from the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, but that's pretty much what they stuck with now, as you see here in the Thanos from the newer comics from #1 now. This is Thanos now, and from here you will see that Eros looks exactly the same as he does in the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. So the difference between here, let me go back here. So his original color was purple, as well as his brother and father. But now in the newer comics, you have this figure here. But even like ever since he joined the Avengers, it became Star Fox, which right now he's kind of covering it up with his hand, the fox symbol, which you can kind of see a little bit better down there, as he's talking to Trichoslauterus. But that's just one of the little differences that kind of appeared between, or that had changed between the years. Of course, you know, Iron Man's suit has definitely gone through a bunch of changes, and here it's taking you step by step through what his original suit, what he had to do to actually to put it on, or to have it assembled, because he's not really just kind of, it's not so simple as just putting it on. He takes all these red pieces and basically magnetically it all just kind of attaches with those yellow pieces, and, well, long story short, he becomes Iron Man. And this comic is actually, he's still depicted as Tony Stark's bodyguard, as you'll see here, where it shows the picture of the suit in the suitcase. Maybe it's time for Tony Stark's bodyguard to appear. Then we move along to after Drax is born, and pretty much his first mission to try to defeat Thanos, which kind of doesn't end too well for him. But in the end, of course, he does end up breaking free with the help of Tony Stark and with the help of a computer known as Isaac. Isaac here is one thing that I think would be pretty cool to have as like a little Easter egg for the Avengers Infinity War movie. Even if they didn't actually have the exact computer and all of that, if they just like mentioned it or name dropped them or something like that, something along the lines of how the MCU just kind of works their little Easter eggs in. But anyway, I can totally see them doing like a partner team up between Drax and Iron Man, where if Thanos were to capture Drax, Iron Man would be the one to go save him, and they would have like all these different little like Dr. Destroyer, I presume. Sorry, Earth joke. And obviously in the movies, Drax does not have any kind of telepathic powers that we've seen anyway. It's definitely a very different form of Drax the Destroyer. But if they had like a brief clip with like the Blood Brothers, which that hasn't been like, there has not been, as far as I know, any rumors that Blood Brothers are going to be in it. But again, it would still be kind of cool just to see, like, in the same way that in Thor Ragnarok, where the Grandmaster had his little guards. I almost said minions, but where he had his guards, and they looked like Celestials, even though they weren't Celestials at all. But even if like Thanos had something like that, to where you could tell that, oh, they're referencing the Blood Brothers, they're holding Iron Man, or they're trying to capture Iron Man while he's trying to save Drax, because something is going on with the rest of the Guardians, with Spider-Man, with Doctor Strange, and Thanos, and that's why they can't be there for Drax, so it's up to Iron Man. Which, once Isaac is able, the computer Isaac and the Mentor are able to see that Iron Man has arrived, the Mentor shouts out to ready Project Freedom, and that's when this laser beam amplifies the Iron Man's unibeam and frees Drax the Destroyer. So something like that I think would be really cool as like an Easter egg to Thanos' first appearance in the comics here. And again, I do think that this is one way that Thanos could actually end up escaping in Infinity War, just by replacing himself with a robot. Which again, I know that that's not exactly been confirmed or not, or even a rumor. But again, it's just little Easter eggs that kind of pop up from the original comics I think would be really cool to have for the movie. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you think any of this stuff will be in Infinity War, if you want to see a team up with Drax the Destroyer and the Invisible Armored Iron Man. Again, definitely a very, very awesome adventure for Iron Man, especially if you're an Iron Man fan, and especially if you're wanting to get to know a little bit more about Thanos' origin as well as Drax. Another cool thing about this comic is that when you flip through to the very back, it actually kind of gives you a little bit of a timeline where you should start at, and even mentions that the Infinity Gauntlet storyline is the #1 book to get before the movie. So definitely interesting that they had add that into there. But that's just kind of an idea of a timeline that would be ideal to follow, just to kind of get an idea of who Thanos really is. So anyway, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Again, let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this comic, and what you guys want to see as far as like different Easter eggs and stuff like that goes for the Infinity War movie. And yeah, just I guess that's really all I had for it today. But anyway, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Definitely appreciate it. And if there are any other comics that you guys want me to do before Avengers Infinity War comes out, let me know. I'm definitely trying to keep up with all these different True Believers. This one, and then there's only one other one that I really found. But there's also the first copy of the Infinity Gauntlet book, so definitely look for that. It's just the first issue of the book, so this is pretty much what you'd be seeing on the first page, more than likely. But again, they're just great ways to get you started into the bigger picture that is the Marvel Universe. So anyway, as always, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you have already subscribed, don't forget to hit the bell so that you get notified when I put out a new video. Or if you haven't subscribed, hit the bell to put, it's so easy. And it's fun, too. I mean, anything you guys want to see, you got it. So, anyway, till next time. And don't forget to hit the like button and share the video so you can get it out there. But anyway, till next time, bye-bye.